My name is Allison Bance, and I'm a senior property manager with Kimley and Haygood. I've been the property manager associated with the Peyton Building since 2004. Last summer, the STA Plaza closed down their designated smoking area, and at that time, the smokers and the people loitering and the people trespassed off of the STA Plaza have tended to congregate onto the Post Street area. That has caused a significant amount of problems for the retail tenants on Post Street, the office tenants in the Peyton Building, the shops, and all the businesses up and down the Post Street corridor. So with the historic renovation of the Davenport, the addition of the Davenport Towers, and the addition of the Hotel Luso, the Post Street corridor down to River Park Square has really been the economic engine of the renovation of downtown Spokane. The following are testimonials from businesses that are being affected by this problem.
My name's Julie Katzer. I own Bruce Brothers Lounge on the corner of Sprague and Post, and I rent from Kimley and Haygood in the Peyton Building. The problem that we're having right now on Post Street is the plaza has removed the smoking section on Wall Street, and so it has pushed all of the smokers and street kids to Post Street, where they are causing issues with smoking and language and spitting and issues with customers not being able to get inside my door. In the last 6 months, my business was doing great previous to the smoking section being removed. And now my business at 9, 10 in the morning, my cafe is empty when usually it was hard to even find a seat in my cafe. It's making it to where it's exhausting and not fun being part of the downtown area anymore.
I'm George Aronon. I'm the Chief Executive of Career Path Services. We're a tenant in the Peyton Building. We're a nonprofit 501c3. We've got about 20 employees in this space. It's our headquarters for 17 locations in the state. Well, we've had an issue for a while now in front of the Peyton Building where crowds gather, and it's not so much the people who gather, but the behaviors that they've been displaying. We've got customers who come to us in this location, and they're people with disabilities, so people with developmental disabilities, IQs of 70 and below, as well as people with sensory impairments. So we've got some folks who are blind, deaf, and wheelchair users also coming to the space. We have 2 women who are regular customers, and they are blind. Our staff have observed that crowds won't accommodate them when they see the blind person approaching. And so our staff have begun to escort them in and out of the building. We also have 2 customers, a man and a woman, and all of these folks are unrelated, who use canes because they have severe sight impairments. And they too don't get accommodated when they're navigating through the sidewalk. What's a particular concern is that we've seen people get cut off. They can't see very well, so when crowds cut in and out, they're not accommodating the person with disability. When folks congregate on the street corners, they're standing in the curb cuts, and so a person with a wheelchair is unable to navigate their way into the walk. Because we're working with people with disabilities, they have the parking stickers that allow them to park at the meters. They come and pick up or drop off clients. And so we have staff regularly parking in front of the building. When they attempt to park, people are standing in these empty parking spots, smoking, talking, and they refuse to move. And so the economic impact may be felt by some of our local business neighbors, because I know that they're not getting customers walking into their shops because there are groups congregating in front of their doors. But this should be a jewel. You know, this traffic corridor should be a showcase for our city, and it's not right now.
My name is Chris Powell. I'm the Director of Security for the Davenport Hotel Collection, which encompasses the Davenport Historic Hotel, the Davenport Tower, and also Hotel Luso and the Post Street Ale House. You know, nobody denies the fact that everybody certainly has a right to be on the public sidewalk. And what we're after is the people's whose behavior is counterproductive to everybody, to businesses. And again, it's a lot of that confrontational attitude towards people passing by, the profanity they use, littering, just a lot of bad behavior, and some of it is obviously very illegal. They come up to the window and when our guests or customers are sitting eating, and they'll take their cameras out, they'll take a picture of the guest. They've pulled their shirts up, pushed their chests up against the glass of the window. And it's just that kind of behavior, but it's intimidating enough that we again have guests that don't want to walk from our hotels to River Park Square as an example. We feel that a lot of what has happened is when the STA Plaza closed their smoking area that was on the east side of the building on Wall Street, these people have a very detrimental effect on the guests and their experience when they go downtown.
Well, my name is Diana Davenport. I'm an employee of Standard Insurance Company, and we've rented space in the Peyton building for, gosh, it's been going on 10 years maybe. We have a new service manager. He had never been to Spokane. It was his first visit here, and he came to see the office and get a lay of the land, and he was appalled because our lease is up. And he knows that, and I don't know if it's been negotiated yet or not, but I know he's keeping that in his back pocket, that, you know, if this doesn't improve, we'll need to find space elsewhere.
What we've discovered in doing research with other cities, that it is common in other cities that when an entity like the STA goes into a certain area, there is a working arrangement put in place between the cities and the entity, such as the STA, and adjacent property owners in terms of what are the rights and responsibilities of all the parties concerned. So what we discovered in doing our research was at the time that the STA Plaza was put into place with the original environmental impact statement in 1990 and the subsequent amendment to that in 1992, that was never put in place. So what we are trying to work with the city and with the STA and now coming to the City Council to try and work with all parties concerned to come to a mutual working arrangement. In addition to the retail tenants having issues on Post Street, we have a vacancy on Post Street, and the current activity of the smokers and the loiterers are making it impossible for us to be able to lease that space, which is causing significant economic impacts for the owners of the Peyton building. STA funding a second police officer patrolling around the plaza, STA funding an additional health officer who can enforce the state statute prohibiting smoking in public places, RCW Chapter 70.160, expanding the limited commission of the STA security to include citing for smoking, littering, and matters set forth as in SMC Chapter 10.10, STA operational changes to include relocation of the 2 bus stops adjacent to the Peyton building. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation. This issue is affecting a lot of the people in the hub of our downtown area, and we look forward to a continued discussion on the matter.